All right, so get this. We're diving deep today into something really different. Fall Asleep with Henrik. Have you heard of it?
I have.
It's one of those things where, like, you've got your sleep podcasts, you've got meditation apps.
Right.
But this is in a whole other category. And I think anyone who's tried those more traditional sleep aids will be like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
So basically, imagine you've got this Swedish actor just kind of chatting away as you're trying to fall asleep. That's Henrik.
Okay.
And the crazy part is it's become like a global phenomenon. People all over the world are using this to fall asleep.
It's interesting because he's really kind of flipped the script on what we think of as a sleep aid.
Right.
Usually it's like calming music or guided meditation, but with Henrik, it's like unscripted, rambling, personal stories. Sometimes he's even making stuff up.
Yeah, and I actually listened to some of his recordings before we started this deep dive. And it really is like you're just eavesdropping on somebody's stream of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1 minute he's talking about his childhood memories, and the next he's like dissecting the word literally because his daughter keeps hearing it on YouTube.
That's funny.
It's so random, but then at the same time, it's kind of weirdly compelling.
And that randomness is kind of at the heart of Henrik's whole philosophy.
Really?
Yeah, he embraces the unexpected, the mundane, the things that are kind of absurd. Even admits he doesn't really plan or edit his episodes.
Wow.
He just hits record and lets his thoughts go wherever they go.
So it's almost the opposite of like those very carefully curated sleep experiences.
Right.
Where you're supposed to like melt away stress and have a peaceful slumber.
Exactly.
Henrik's more like, hey, life's messy, let's just roll with it.
I think that's a good way to put it. And he's actually pretty outspoken about rejecting that artificiality of like the typical sleep aids. In one recording, he even said, the world can harm you.
Whoa.
Which is such a like stark contrast
Right.
to what you usually hear.
Yeah, it's like he's acknowledging that we all have anxieties.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to pretend they don't exist.
Exactly.
So he's not trying to create this like illusion of a worry-free world.
Right.
Is he trying to keep us awake with real-world anxieties? I don't get it.
That's an interesting question. I don't think that's his intention.
Okay.
I think it's more about normalizing those anxieties. Like if we can voice them, if we can let those thoughts exist without judgment, then maybe they lose a bit of their power over us.
So it's like he's saying, hey, we all have these worries. It's just part of being human.
Exactly.
That's pretty different from the whole think positive thoughts and drift off to dreamland approach.
Definitely. And it seems to be working. His Swedish podcast is incredibly popular.
That's what I heard.
And he's starting to gain a following internationally as well.
You know what I wonder about that? There's got to be something universal about this.
Oh, I think there is.
Why else would it translate across cultures?
I think Henrik's tapping into those like very human experiences that we all share.
Okay.
Childhood memories, awkward encounters, those moments where you kind of like have an existential crisis in the middle of the night.
Right, we've all been there.
Exactly. And he tells these stories with this kind of self-deprecating humor.
Yes.
That you either love or hate.
Huh?
Like you're having a late night conversation with a friend.
Oh, I see.
And that can be very soothing for a lot of people.
It's like he's giving us permission to just
Exactly.
to be ourselves.
With all our imperfections.
All our anxieties.
Exactly. He's not offering a quick fix or some famous solution.
Right.
He's just offering his company his thoughts, his own kind of messy human experience.
And in a world that feels kind of overwhelming and chaotic sometimes,
Yeah.
that could be really appealing.
I think so. And it's not even just like the personal stories, It's like he can take something totally mundane and turn it into like a philosophical reflection.
Oh yeah, totally. Like he could be talking about, I don't know, a fly landing on his leg or something.
Right.
And the next thing you know, he's off on this whole tangent about the universe and our place in it.
Exactly. He's not afraid to like ponder those big questions.
Yeah.
But he does it in this way that's so relatable, almost conversational. Like he's just thinking out loud and we're invited to kind of think along with him.
And he's just kind of like, hey, it's okay to have this mental chatter going on.
Exactly. I think that's a big part of why people connect with him. He's normalizing those thoughts. He's saying it's okay to be weird.
It's okay to not have it all figured out.
When you really listen to Henrik, when you tune into his message,
Yeah.
that message of acceptance and self-compassion, it makes you realize that Fall Asleep with Henrik might be more than just a sleep aid. It might be like a gateway to a more mindful way of being.
Yeah, it's like he's sneaking in these profound ideas without you even realizing it. You're just lying there trying to fall asleep,
Right.
and then suddenly you're thinking about like the meaning of life.
Exactly. It's almost like he's doing mindfulness without even trying.
So maybe Fall Asleep with Henrik is more than just a sleep aid.
I think so.
Maybe it's like an antidote to all the stress and anxiety we're all feeling these days.
Yeah, like a reminder to unplug from the chaos and just reconnect with ourselves.
And to find the humor in it all.
Exactly, to embrace the messy, the unpredictable, the hilarious journey of being human.
I think that's a great takeaway from this deep dive.
I do too.
Fall Asleep with Henrik isn't just about getting a good night's sleep.
Right.
It's about finding a different way to be more mindful, more accepting, more at peace with ourselves and the world around us.